Chelsea fans, there has been a bomber. There's been a transfer bomber, but it's not involving Chelsea, it's indirectly involving Chelsea. The first bid for Isak has been rejected. It's huge, and the reality is, whatever happens in that deal directly impacts us. There's good news. Furthermore, we've got an update on Xavi Simons. Fabrizio spoke a little bit on his YouTube video, and what ended up happening was Twitter went into meltdown because of poor aggregation. I'm going to be here to ease your mind. Furthermore, Fabrizio's once again come out speaking about Garnacho, and when I tell you people are moving from copium to hopium, it is happening in pure daylight. Because people are now resigning to the idea that we're getting Garnacho. We're going to talk about it. And finally, I think we've reached a period now, August 1st. We need to set targets. We need to be realistic, but at the same time, we need to be ambitious. We are world champs. We are the super duper champs. We are Chelsea Football Club. For the next 4 years, we're going to be known as the world champs. So these realistic targets need to be identified, but they need to be reaching. We're going to talk about it. So before we get started, number one, hit that like button. 1,000 likes goes a long way for the content. Number two, subscribe if you're new. You get regular, consistent content, no agenda, straight to the point. I don't keep you here longer than 20 minutes, and then you can keep it stepping with your day. Chelsea Football Club is in a very big predicament right now, because other clubs are doing business, we're doing our business, and the reality is no matter how much we improve, we're still playing catch up against the rest. I think we finished 14 points or 15 points behind Liverpool, so that is the goal. Every year when the season starts, as a Chelsea fan, my goal has always been, no matter how bad we were the season prior, we need to find a way to win this league. Until it's mathematically impossible, until it's slapping me in the face left, right and centre, then I accept it and say, you know what, we're not doing it. Isak going to Liverpool is huge, right? It would be a massive statement. It will put them in a position where they've got the best goalkeeper in the league, they've got the best centre-half in the league, they've got the second best striker in the league in Isak, because Haaland's still number one in my eyes, they've got the best winger in the league in Mohamed Salah. It gets into a situation where they are outstanding favourites. There's been news, and it's come out, and we need to discuss it. Number one, Newcastle have rejected a £120 million bid. 110 million was guaranteed. The rest was in add-ons. It took it up to 20 million, according to Fabrizio. After that, we got some positive news. The positive news is that Ben Jacobs said Liverpool are reluctant to come back in. Part of the reason is the no that they received was no. It wasn't a, you know what, nah. It was, no, we're not getting it. You're not getting him. They are not selling. The Geordies have put their foot down. A lot of people are going to say, how does this impact us as Chelsea fans? Well, the reality is, if they get Isak, we're in big trouble. Because it isn't only for this year that it impacts us for the next 3-4 years. This is the Salah replacement. When Salah moves on, Isak will step up and be the guy that delivers 20 to 25 goals, right? So it directly impacts us, and we need to talk about it. What are my views on this situation? Number one, I really feel for Newcastle. Look, I laugh at them on my TikTok all the time. Number one, their fans are so easy to rattle. Number two, their fans are so deluded because they think they're a big club. Come on, relax, right? Small boy yourselves. And finally, this could happen to any football club. So I need to be very careful. Like, I think there was a period when Eden Hazard was getting taken off us by Real Madrid, and you feel as a fan helpless. The positive thing here was Hazard acted like a model professional when he left. It's funny because every time Hazard went on international duty, you saw quotes, and I used to get annoyed. It's like, why is he always talking? The reality is, when it came to the period of leaving, he was so upfront and open. He said, there's a chance I'm going to leave straight after the Europa League final. As a Chelsea fan, I knew exactly where I stood. Then he went on holiday, came back, and the deal was done, and we got a marvellous fee. The fee was not great because the money's not coming in my pocket, but the reality is Eden Hazard moved on. I lost my favourite player, but we live on. So I feel for Newcastle fans. The thing I don't like is how Isak's behaving. And a lot of people can say, Alex, why are you judging him for how he's behaving? When clubs isolate players all the time. And we all sit here, and I've said this on many occasions, right? I don't agree with what Chelsea's doing with Sterling, Chilwell, Disasi, Joao Felix, the Renato Vega. I don't like this. Isolate them away from the squad. You're not part of the squad. You're in the bomb squad. I hate the term bomb squad. Do you know why? Because at one moment in time, you gave that player that contract and you promised him, for the next 6 or 7 years, I'm going to pay you. You signed him with the intention that he's going to contribute and the intention that he's part of your team. So now you're putting him far away because you no longer want to play with this toy. And for me, that's not right. I would hate it if someone ever done that to me in my line of work. But The reason what I don't like about what Isak's doing allegedly is, Isak went into training, said he's got a little groin injury, came off the training session, since then refused to go on preseason. Okay, strike one. Number two, now there's pictures and rumors coming out that he is training at the Real Sociedad training ground by himself, doing exercises, trying to stay fit. Broski, if you're training by yourself, you should be with your team. As his teammate, I would be furious. Because at the end of the day, you are contracted to play for that club. You're still going to receive your wages. And for me, this is just nasty behavior. It's nasty on all parties. And I really wish clubs and players wouldn't do this to each other. Because for me, the losers here are the fans. Because there will be somebody that delivers Newcastle content. There'll be a bunch of people that watch that Newcastle content sitting on the other end, and every day they're hearing, oh, Isak's doing this. Oh, Newcastle are going to lose this. We're getting rejected by this player. This is happening. And honestly, as fans, it must be torture. I understand, by the way, Isak wants to win. Isak wants to go somewhere where he'll be appreciated to the point of no return, of winning major honors. The key thing is, you signed the contract. You agreed to sacrifice these years of your career for Newcastle because you went from X amount of money to X amount of money that for you at the time was good enough. Now, it's no longer good enough for you. You can't have the exit all on your own terms. And that for me is pivotal. This is why I am never getting at Raheem Sterling or even Ben Chilwell. I call him Basic Ben. Never do I say he's stealing a living. Do you know why? Chelsea thought he was worth 200k. If there's anyone that's an idiot in this situation, it's whoever put that contract in front of him for him to sign. That's the problem here. Now you have to live with your consequences. And in this situation, I don't like what Isak's doing, but that's just me, and it directly impacts Chelsea. All right, let me give you a quick roundup of what is happening on the transfer news, and then we can go and set our targets for the season. Number one, Garnacho. Garnacho's situation is getting more and more evident. The closer a deal gets, Fabrizio starts doing the same patterns, the same routine. You know them ones. When you go to the gym, what's the first thing you do? You should warm up. Yeah, you should warm up. Fabrizio's already done the warming up. He's put the tweets out there. Then what do? Before you go and pick up the weights, you start doing a warm-up set, at least one or two. His warm-up sets is retweeting stuff that is ready to go. He is retweeting old tweets about how Garnacho's interested. He's putting out new tweets about how Garnacho wants to play for Chelsea. And now the speculation is at full force. This deal is going to happen. Today, he's reiterated again, since January, Garnacho's had the intention to play for Chelsea Football Club. He wants to come to Chelsea, and this deal is going to accelerate towards the end of the year because Matt Law also came out and said he has no intention of going to Europe. He wants to stay in the Premier League, hopefully a Champions League side. That rules Villa out. He wants Chelsea. I don't blame him. You get to live in London. You get to play for a massive club like Chelsea, and more importantly, it's driven by our sporting directors. Apparently one of them really wants Alejandro Garnacho. We're not going to make any predictions because we don't know who it is. One day we'll find out who wants him. The numbers suggest he's going to be a decent player. I think if his name wasn't Alejandro Garnacho and his name was someone else that we were linked with, for example Ahmad, and he had the exact same numbers, the same characteristics, I think people would not have an issue. Purely based on the fact that I think people don't like what comes with Garnacho. For example, his brother. People don't like the ego that people say he has. And the reality is, it stinks, but I'm not going to be here on a daily basis ranting and crying because I don't change any. I've said this on many occasions. We need to accept what happens and then we need to judge him fairly. We need to back him when he comes in. If he messes up, you know I'm going to be calling out because I'm your favorite YouTube dietitian, and that's why I tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Many times I've said it. Fabrizio has also reiterated it's not just Xavi Simons, it's and Garnacho. It's both. It's not one or the other. And for me, this is very interesting because people are now melting down. People are now panicking. People now are talking about how this deal stagnated, but in reality, we've only been negotiating for 2 weeks. And it's slowly creeping there, and we're finding out why. Details are coming out. The first detail that's coming out is he's got 2 years left on his deal. So Chelsea have an idea of the fee that they're going to hit. They're not going to exceed it. They don't want to because they don't want to be taken for mugs, right? They do not want to set a precedent that in the future, clubs will start trying to extract more and more money out of them. The reality is though, they stood firm with Mike Maignan. They did not stand firm with Jeremy Gittins, and they ended up overpaying on Jeremy Gittins in my opinion. It is what it is though. We don't go over old news. The second bit is Leipzig apparently are not going to shift. And Fabrizio made it sound like, oh, Chelsea need to sell. But if you go and watch the video rather than the text, Fabrizio makes it say that Chelsea are going to make sales, and the likelihood is that this deal will still go through. But it's not a guarantee like that. He can't basically come out and say this deal's 100% going to happen. Because I think he's learned his lesson with Chelsea. They change their mind like the weather changes in England. 1 minute it's hot, 1 minute it's cold. You went outside in a tank top, next thing you know you're getting soaked. Nah, it's not going to work. Always have an umbrella in Britain. Rule number 1. It's a messy situation. And what I'm going to say to you guys is people are getting impatient. And the reason they're getting impatient is because they want this deal done and they want everyone back for training on Monday. But, and this is the big but, where the hell were you lot for the Caicedo saga? It genuinely went on for 3 months. I was sick and tired of it. I was exhausted. When we got a here we go, it only was good because Liverpool tried to hijack it, because I was tired of the name Moses Caicedo, but he was worth every penny. So hopefully we get this move across the line and Xavi Simons follows in a similar light to Moses Caicedo. But I'll keep you updated if anything changes. Now let's hit these targets. So this is the part where you lot need to get interactive. So in the comments below, let me know. Right, Chelsea, and then have 3 bullet points. And within those 3 bullet points, I need you lot to do the 3 things. Number 1, how many points are you targeting this year? Number 2, domestic cup. Do you think we win one, or how far do you want to get into them? And number 3, Champions League, how deep do we go? Let me talk through this. Number 1, I think for points, we need to aim for 8. Last year, we got 69 points. 69 points was a decent return. You know, it was a good return. It got us Champions League football. That was the goal at the start of the year. We won 2 international trophies, Club World Cup champions, Conference League. We didn't do well in the domestic cups. We need to improve that. So 80 points would be our best point total since the last time we won the league. I think it was nearly 8 years since we cracked 76 or 77, because under Tuchel it was 77, and prior to that it was 93. So we need to go and get to 80 points. A lot of people say, oh, it's easy. It's not. Like 80 points is actually kind of mad. It means you need to win in and around, and if my maths is not hurting me right now, you need to win around 24 games and a couple of draws there, here and there. Because it's mad. Like 24 games will be 72 points, if I'm not mistaken. If this maths is bad, you lot are gonna cook me. But 72 points, and then it would mean that you need around about 8 draws. So that means you can only lose 6 games. Like, let that sink in. You can only lose 6 games in a season and 8 draws. You convert a couple of those draws into wins, and all of a sudden you're in the business for a title. You know, so that's how close you are. I want us to compete for a title. Do I think we're going to? I don't know. At the moment, I don't know. A lot of players have to step up. A lot of players have to develop. But I think if you get me 80 points at the end of the season, I'm going to be. The second thing, I want a deep Champions League run. I want the type of Champions League run where we look at it and say, you know what? We went out there, but it was good. Like, the players learned, we developed. Next year, we go and win it. Or I want one where we win it. Because this is Chelsea. We know on a one-off occasion, I've got a great manager that can outcoach anyone. I've got a great batch of players that can do their thing. And more importantly, we got heritage on our side. Tuesday, Wednesday night at the bridge, lights are on, it's dark, it's cold. You know how it's going down, man. We're absolutely slapping someone's head top. We're hitting those banners at the bottom of the bridge. It is going good. Those metal boards are getting clapped when the team loves it. And we will get amped up. Then, and this is the final part, I want a domestic trophy. I think it's been far too long since we've last won a cup. Whether it's the FA Cup, whether it's the Carabao Cup. We aren't winning these cups. We're getting to final, but we ain't doing our job. It's about time we step up there. Those are my targets. I want to hear yours. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're going to see what comes out regarding the news. There might not be a video tomorrow, but the best way for you lot to know that you will be notified is by always hitting that bell notification, subscribing, sharing the content, because not enough of you do it, but it is what it is. Peace out. I'm out. Adios, amigos.